And the way you will find out is through trial and error and working with it from the inside out. Okay, so that's the first thing. Is I really want to, and I wrote about this a little bit in the newsletter this week, I really want to encourage you to remember that you get to learn what works for you and your being from the inside out. Sometimes it's a trauma response. Great. Well, the way to heal a trauma response is to begin getting in touch with it, recognizing it, knowing how it feels from the inside out, and watching the results of it in my life, because that's going to be the quickest, most authentic form of real learning, like the kind of learning that is transformative. What we sometimes substitute is, I want some framework out there and some authority figure out there to tell me what I can and can't trust in here. And that in and of itself, it can be a scaffold. I'm not going to say that it doesn't have some value. It does have some value, but see that for what it is, because it's still creating a dependency between you deferring your authority outside of yourself. And is there a time and a place for that? Of course there is. So for example, for people who are on the self-healing, transformation journey, you want to have sort of a community of elders that you gather around you. Okay, you want to find the teachers, the healers, the writers, the authors, the journeyers, the elders, the mentors, whatever word you want to use. You want to find those people who are living into what your being is aspiring to. And then you want to trust their counsel. There are, let's say, 5 people that you elect in your life as, when I'm confused, I'm going to get those 5 people's opinion. But I'm not going to get every book that I believe is on my bookshelf, and every TikTok video and every YouTube video that I watch and every random person that I talk to and the 3 people in my small group who did blah, blah, blah. I'm not giving my power away to the world. I'm going to be selective about who actually has earned the right to help me with these really profound discernments. And those people cannot help me if they don't know me very deeply. So I'm actually investing in a longer term relationship with those people, because I need them to know me well enough that they can see things about me that I'm not ready to see. Okay. And somebody that you call for a one-off appointment, like the astrologer that you call, or the psychic that I call down in, Tucson, Arizona, or like, that's a different thing. These are not the people you're turning your power over to. They can play a different role in your life, but you want to really be thoughtful and selective around the healers that you are submitting to. And we all need them. I have a key inner circle of people that when I feel like I'm triggered and confused, which happens to me a lot, I know who I'm calling, because they've earned the right to give me counsel, because they've known me for 20 plus years. They've worked with me in multiple states. They've watched my journey. They know what I know and don't know about myself, and they've earned the right. And so I will say to them, is this my old trigger about blah, blah, blah? Is this about my mother again? Or is this wisdom? I know that they know me well enough that they can weigh in on that and help me think through that in a really high quality way. So I would say, and today even, I sometimes find myself doing things and I'm like, oh, this is a red flag, Yvette, you know better. This is like, are you like, red has become my favorite color. All of these red flags are like breadcrumbs and I'm just going to follow them. And I see the red flags and here I go down the freaking rabbit hole again. And sometimes, yes, is that a trauma response? Yes. Okay. I'm going to go through the trauma response, but what I'm going to do it again this time is really consciously to try and figure out, if I'm still so compelled to do this thing, what have I not yet become conscious of? What part in me is still looking to be integrated? I don't see it as a bad thing to do or as something to be avoided. I see it more for myself as an experience that I still need to have, and I'm going to do it with as little damage to myself as possible, while really honoring why does this thing still have such a hold over me? Here's what I would say, and I say this all the time: whatever is emerging in you, love it up. Oh, I'm going to spend the next month like getting to know my trauma responses. Oh, this isolation is a trauma response. How do I know? Because it's not actually making me feel better. Oh, this is my like protective system. I'm sitting here in my bedroom binge watching Netflix with my shields way up. And what needs of mine is this meeting? Well, lack of stimulation, keep all those fucked up people far away from me. I have a lot of safety. I have a lot of security. I have a lot of choicefulness. I'm going to enjoy this and remind myself that I have superpowers at creating isolation when I want it. And eventually, I am going to get sick of it. So I'm going to wait until I'm sick and tired of being alone in my bed, binge watching these dumb shows. And I naturally have the next thing emerging in me that is like, I'm so bored. I really long for movement. I'm longing for, and then I follow that, because then it's on my timing. And then it is authentic to my system. And it's not coming from, well, I'm so lazy, I should, blah, 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 blah. And when I listen to my Deepak Chopra meditation in the morning, they talk about how you are supposed to, blah, blah. So let me see if I can template myself into this lifestyle that is supposed to be healthy that I feel no energy for. That's working against ourselves.